So I'm sorry, I thought I had started it. So we had started the session in time, in fact, before time today, but recording. Okay, thank you. So we were covering on the course syllabus and see all the help you can get. So you will come over here to this, and now that you have all got this also, so just once you have a look, you will understand. It's very nicely brought out. So it gives an introduction to program and the program structure. So how many marks, how many credits, how much time, you'll now see that. There are two CDM1, 2, and there are 6 months minimum time. 6 months program it is there. So it is offered in English also for you to understand. You can see the thing I'm sharing with you. And so uh, now there are many things in it. So like this, for example, about counseling, it is giving. So you can read this, you will understand also, no doubt. It's very helpful. Guiding is there. So, but you have to understand there'll be some sort of changes also, that because these are old things which are there, but whatever requirement to further help you, so is there. So now you see, you will all be interested in getting good marks. So this is how you get marks. A, B, C, D, E. What does it grade means? Percentage, point grade. So all these are very clearly given over here. So you will get your certificate after finishing. So this will have this. Now another thing is the assignment. So you can see assignments details are given. I'm not covering it. I'm only informing you that this is there. So in your time, go through it. Every or most of your queries which I find, they will be answered here. But in addition, also you see now term and examination, very important. Who's eligible? So basically, you have to submit your assignment before that. No. So these are another important thing. And one, I will now come to the uh, syllabus that you are interested. We were, and other things about university are there you may be interested to know. So why I am bringing the syllabus now is that we will understand, and you can ask me any question on these things. So block 1, we covered understanding disasters. I hope you all remember that. So this was very important. The first unit, it gave the meaning and the factors. So we had said in the definition of star disasters, there are three important things. It's a very calamitous, means a lot of loss of life. Is there sudden event somewhere? It could be also take time, but generally it's a very sudden event. Lots of losses, lives and property. Other things is there, and then there is also uh, then it main thing is third thing is that there is a outside help required. That's the very key thing. So based on these things, we can think of these being disasters. So causes of disaster, effects of disaster. Then we have a global view of disasters. We saw on the map also on there all what view is there. Then what are the how some organizations and things like that, and profile. Now here we are studying the disaster profile of India very briefly, and similarly you can study the disaster profile of any other region. We have studied global, then there is regional profile. That means in our context, in Indian context, it will be, let's say, the South Asian region. and how it affects. So in your case, it will be the um, African region, isn't it? So the profile you can study and then see similar things you can apply there. And but we are there looking at different countries which may have different systems. Some may have better than the others. So most of the disasters that you face would be drought, desertification, and floods
Mm.
and the natural disasters.
Nigeria.
So I,
Civil banditrism.
yeah, okay. And then uh, what we call under man-made disasters are a plenty. In fact, um, if you list out the number of disasters, there will be so many uh, conflicts, human conflicts, migration due to upheavals, various, some places more, some places less. I think all over the world these are there. Many country, most of them it is there. But these are very complex issues. So in this course, we are not studying much on it, very briefly. But there are courses, subsequent very advanced courses in PG diploma course you can do after this course. You can join in the July session for that also. That's a postgraduate diploma in disaster management. There are uh, 7 courses and a project in that. So there also we are running those also for, and next could be that because it will be a giving, you have got the basic understanding, now you can be right. Now disaster courses you can apply everywhere. See, you have management part of it, understanding of this thing, and then how to cope with crisis, how to cope with situation. Then we saw on the types of disaster. So block 2 and 3, earthquake, floods, earthquake where it happens, I think. Then uh, more the developed area, more the problem, I think. If there's no population, there is not much damage. So flood and drainage, cyclones, hurricanes, I think, which are not much for you, but definitely understanding. Then drought and famines. Yeah. Next is landslide and slow avalanches. Snow avalanche and landslides are in doesn't happen in plain area, but in mountains definitely. I think your areas also. Some places in Africa, some high mountains are there, ranges. So generally during the uh, rains, heavy rains are there. So with that, the soil becomes loose. Uh, so these are also, and many places also, because development also is coming into this way. Fire, forest fires, bush fire, like that. Industrial technological disaster and epidemics. Epidemics, in fact, is even before COVID-19, Africa was facing a lot of these disasters in various. Ebola was there, so and other. So I think you find that these are also, and so many other diseases which are there, meningitis, and in fact I think so. So our second block we were covering basically the disasters. First block was understanding. Second block was uh, the type. Second and third block we covered all the disasters. Now then fourth block we went on to planning. Planning is a very important aspect. So actually planning, another thing we have to see that the plans have to be made, at different levels. And it's everything we are doing in these things, these are all actually, disaster management is a developmental process, because if you reduce disasters, your development increases. Yeah, Joy, you want to say something? Please say. Yes. Is there something you want to say?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Okay, I said, please, sir, I want you to shed a little light on an avalanche because the day you thought that the network wasn't connecting in my side here, so I don't know if you can just share a little light on an avalanche. Is it a disaster? How is it, please?
Okay. Thank you. Okay, that. Okay, I will come back to that. We were so avalanche we had covered in block three. Landslides and avalanche. Okay, both are similar type of things. Landslide happens on. See, firstly, these are lands on slopes, hills. Because of instability. So they like landslide. Landslide, you understand? Have you seen a landslide somewhere, Joy? Yeah, Joy, can you
Okay,
tell?
I
Yeah.
think I've watched that. I think I've watched the event, the way it happened. I think I've watched it in the movie before, how the land, turn over and swallow properties, people into the earth.
How does it happen? You tell me. How does landslide happen?
I don't, I don't really have an idea, but I
No,
know it's a
firstly,
disaster that.
it happens in a plain area or in a hilly area.
Okay, it happens on the land, whereby the land opens, the ground opens up and swallows. It swallows up everything on the land, both
No,
human
no,
being,
that is not
houses, and everything.
landslide. In fact,
Okay.
that's only happens in movies. That land opens and it swallows you. I can understand what you are saying is that the land cracks. A crack develop in between. It opens up and things fall inside. Uh, this is not really a landslide. No, landslide is it's a mudslide also. Some place times only the mud is flowing because of the slope. From the higher point, it falls down. Isn't it natural that if there is something at the higher point and nothing is stopping it, it will fall down? So that's a natural thing. So what happens in a hilly area generally, there is lot of loose soil or the soil becomes loose in case of landslide. So the soil, when it becomes loose, it starts falling down. So we had studied. You can see your book also when you will read, or you also can. The recording is there. I think you can. These are done very well. These recordings are coming. I was looking at one of them. They are.
Okay, sir, please, how can I get the recording
I think these are being
of
sent to you by email after the or they'll be
oh,
uploaded at okay. I don't you get the okay. I get the link immediately. In fact, I stop. I get it on my email,
okay, sir.
but
Thank
no,
you.
but you get it on the LMS portal. They are uploaded within
Okay.
say this week's by Monday. It will Monday or Tuesday. It will be uploaded. So those old ones would have been uploaded by now. So that is in the LMS
Okay, sir.
portal itself. Please try that. No, but I will tell you about landslides are very interesting or very. Uh, so when you let's say the mountain slope is there, on the side there are a lot of rocks, boulders, and other things. So they get loose, so they fall down. Generally, it happens due to geologically the mountains are young. So in India, in the Himalayas, it happens often. During the rainy season, they become more loose. So it can be a very small landslide which may not make much difference, or only a few rocks, small rocks are falling. Or it can be a massive one and it can come down and bury villages down below, or it breaks the road. Now, this is landslide. Avalanches will is same thing happening with ice and snow. So this will be in the region which has lot of ice, not little bit snowfall takes place of 2 3 inches and then or 5 10 inches. No, normal snowfall is not there. That is lot of ice or snow which has gathered on the hills, in the mountains, high mountains or hills. So generally it will be in the upper reaches of the Himalayas and those big mountains and Alps, Andes, all these all over the world, these which are snow covered mountains. So you have it there, and it is because the ice, see, the ice could be 100-meter deep, 500-meter deep, it could be a glacier sort of a thing on the side, and then that ice wall, huge mountain, it because of the weather, because of something, it becomes unstable. The weight of it cannot take it because the weather, it loosens it up, so it breaks and comes down. Huge quantities can come. I have seen those. I've seen a lot of landslides and even avalanches. I've been in these high areas a lot, and basically areas which we call glacier areas, because glaciers is in between mountains. So on the mountains, they side they keep happening, and the reason why they happen is they get see loose these ice. So ice is basically avalanche, and mud and rocks and all is landslide. That is land. This is snow, ice. Otherwise, the principle is the same scientifically, or the reason is same. Okay. So
Okay, thank you, sir. I understand now.
yeah, you get it. So you read it now, you'll get it much better. You'll get the facts exact, how many points, because the questions will come on these. Let me tell you why I'm covering today this thing. All these are important. When we are making the question paper, we start from one end of the syllabus of the all the books and go to the last one. And from every book, every unit, we try to put something. And now, uh, because your exam would likely to be multiple choice question. You understand multiple choice question? So I'll show you something. So it will be that something, and then A, B, C choice, and D will be none of the above. So you have to select one thing. And there'll be 50 questions, 50 marks, each question having 1 mark. So you can, so that will be the style. That is one way of having your this thing. Okay. And you'll get, I think, 90 minutes for the exam, like that. So now, next thing is essentials. Planning is the most important part. All other, of course, everything is important, and not that communication, not or leadership and coordination. It's the most important thing, coordination, which is a leadership function also, and logistics, warehouse, stocks, piling means having piles of stock. So it's also subject. All these are subjects by itself. In fact, you can get books on these. So basically, these are you can get in leadership and management. You will have this same things are there. But here we are there so that those who are into disaster managers, they are into earthquake or relief or other thing preparedness. So these things are normal. Warehousing for earthquake, maybe your warehousing may be different. Uh, for droughts, it's different. Drought management we covered because it's a slow onset. It may take years also to develop. It may take months to develop, years depending on the. And it is basically agricultural drought or moisture drought related still. The food production is less, or the rains have failed, and when the farming, or there's no water available for farming at that time, or a particular season, that can affect, and many other things also. Pest infections. I think pest infection is in a pest infection, or pests are a lot in some regions of Africa. and also in India, some places. So there are swarms of these beetles which come. Whole It's a cloud of them which comes and descend on the crops and finish it. So that is another sort of a this thing. Then we have on the behavior of uh, people. Now, actually, when you read trade, so individual, community, and institutional behavior, how the organization would respond, react, behavior, and you also those who are the people in disaster management, those who go on to respond to disaster for rescue, especially, they also get psychologically affected by seeing so much of loss, death, very bloody bodies, other things, extricating them, and a lot of sorrow. So they get a psychological effect. They can have trauma also. Even of course, the victims have it, but other how the community participates and generate awareness also amongst this. This is very key for planning. For and once plans are good, your response is good. So your disasters are managed well. So disaster impact is less. So that is also of reducing disaster, because planning is not only on paper, and any plan you make for the community, for group of anywhere, you generally it is in a written form, no doubt, but that is not important how it is written. Yes, a better one, but you should keep improving. The best thing about planning, or the most important thing, is that you have to rehearse it. Planning has to be rehearsed. You have to do rehearsals. You have to carry out exercises, physically exercises, mock drills, mock exercises. You make a plan for your school. So now you have to exercise the school, carry out a mock drill. Then from the mock drill, get the lessons that whether the warning was given in time, did the warning reach everybody? Did they give warning only or not? Did they evacuate correctly? Routes were taken. Were the routes marked? Did anybody get confused? In evacuation, stampedes can take place. So that also crowd management. Was there shelters there? Where they were taken? What they were to do? Can they get lost? Was there communication? So whatever shortfall, drawbacks are there, so you improve your plan. Then again, after some time, practice again. So that is very important. Awareness on public, we covered on media also, and here also information, organization, and dissemination. Disaster management awareness, how to carry out. ICT is very important. What is ICT? Have you heard of it? ICT. Yeah, ICT. Yeah, who knows the full form?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, information in computer technology.
Information is the correct part. Maybe you are using that, but what I was meaning, or we are using in the book also and other places, it's part of awareness generation, media, all this. Information, communication, technology. Okay. So every program you do, everything for the public, you have to involve ICT in it, isn't it? You have to bring out all these things. The government does, it can turn into propaganda also. So you have to be aware, you have to be very focused, you have to not, it's propaganda, but we have to do focused for specific things to make people aware. If you are making early warning system, unless the community knows, or you're making preparedness, you are having shelters, unless the community knows, so how do you inform them? So you use ICT. Media can use, you can use the information communication technologies, you can use print media, electronic media, whatever media, all these. But you have to have a plan. You have to use these technologies. Social media now, in fact, so many things on Facebook. There is a feature called that in case of a disaster someplace, the people over there they can mark themselves safe. So if you subscribe within your community that thing. So anybody who's not marked, let's say there's a big earthquake or there's a big floods, and somebody has not marked himself safe, that means he may be missing. Then somebody should find out about him. So that could be also planned. I'm just giving an example, not necessarily it will be in all plans, but I'm just saying these are features. You can use Twitter these days. Now these are not in the book, but because naturally this was early, so I'm updating on this what is required. So, and then we covered role of various agencies. So one we had covered earlier initially about disaster management in India when we covered about the national level, global scenario. So you can do, let's say, disaster management in Africa. How is it done, or what are the disasters? First, you'll understand. Then, what are the organizations? Then each country. What are the cooperation between countries on this, because disasters may be over multiple countries. Are there any methods for that? So all these have to be involved into that. So and then the communities or the people they are affected by the uh, it is the district administration, local administration, local government, uh, or the local officials who will be leading this. They will be controlling it. They will be so everybody, and the coordination should be done by them. So everybody has to cooperate with them. See, that is why you have to understand. Then we covered on the all over the world, I think, in disaster, the organized forces, they are the military, paramilitary. In India, we call have paramilitary also. Some places you may not have. These are military units, but not under the Ministry of Defense. These are for specific purpose. Like there is a industrial security force for which is basically meant for industries, airports, those security of those places. Then we have border security force for particular borders, some places. Then other places is with the Tibet, Indo-Tibetan border police is there, in which is basically the border between India and Tibet, that is China. So this is the Tibetan. Then and these areas are all glaciers, Himalayan, with landslide, with avalanches. Then on the eastern side, we have Assam rifles. They are mostly on the again border with China and Myanmar. That side they are operating there, and they function. All them function coordinate with army other places. Then there are police organizations. See, the police is always there because there are deaths, there's losses, there's injuries, there are so many things happening. So management of the traffic, management of the people, controlling crime, also disasters also bring in when people have their other bad elements also sometimes. So this all, so police is always involved everywhere. They'll be, in fact, that way also you have to understand. Then in India we have a national disaster relief force. Now this is not in the books because this came up later, but that's a good idea for you to understand. Then there are ministries and departments at center and states. Ministries coordination is by Ministry of Home Affairs. Earlier it was Agriculture Affairs was our ministry was coordinating, but it changed. Then there are various other all ministries are involved with that. Health Ministry is there, Ministry of Highways and Transportation, because they also get in. And another thing they are involved, Ministry of Highway Trans, because uh, See, the roads, highways, these come under them, and building them requires a lot of machinery. So they have the machinery which can be used in disasters for other purposes of the heavy machinery. So this is there. Health, of course, is there. Then all ministries are involved. Foreign ministry, because foreign you want aid, or there's, or even coordinating with other countries. All these things. Information ministry is involved because all these information control other things. So then non-government agencies, we have mentioned about these. There are and international agencies. International agencies are starts with the UN agencies. There are a lot of them. So these are given in them. Please read that. This is, we covered this also. So UNHCR. What does it stand for? All these terms you should be UN High Commission for Refugees, uh, World Health Organization, WHO. I think that you all will be aware in this. COVID-19 pandemic, lot of guidance has been given by them. World Food Program, FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization. There are so many. In fact, UNICEF, United Nations International Children Education Fund. All organizations of UN are into disaster management, you can say. So, and international agencies are there. See, there are UN agencies, there are international Red Cross agencies, International Federation of the Red Cross, Red Crescent Societies. This is almost everywhere they are working since long. They are in India. They are formally, um, with the government. They are there. So there is a Indian Red Cross Society. Then each state has a Red Cross Society. Then districts, some many districts, they have the other Red Cross functionaries and other ways. So they are doing in India a lot on, since long I know they are doing on this. Otherwise, and then there's a ambulance service, St. John's Ambulance. Earlier, Red Cross was mostly into relief and aid, but now they're into so they work with coordination with the government, other NGOs. So it is an NGO, but with a formal coordination with the government, and with most of the country it is doing. So there's a Geneva Conventions for this. So, and then media, we have covered the print media and the electronic media, the broadcasting media. And then we also mentioned social media, which is not given in this because these are new things, social media, and then you can see a lot of that. So I would say we have covered something what you should all be knowing. Uh, so, how much of it you have covered or you have studied? I think by now we have finished all these things. So, anything specific you want to know, we can do that again. We have got another 1 hour. We are now, or you can um, wait. So, otherwise, I can cover. So, this is what is given in the program guide actually of yours. I hope you have been able to get it by now. So each course is 8 credit. So you should be able to understand that. Now, have you all received your synopsis so far? Sorry, your assignments?
No, sir.
No,
I've not seen anything there. I clicked on the link for the LMS, but I couldn't find any assignment there. So I don't know how to go about it.
mhm. Why don't you ask the coordinator? She may be able to help you. She will, in fact. See, you have to raise this issue, no, with them, and I think that will be very helpful, useful also for you. Can you raise the issue with them? Lee, can you send them an email or something?
No, sir.
Well,
I I I didn't. No, I
no,
didn't complain.
no, no, it's not complaint. It is requesting them to send a assignment. Don't take it. We are nobody minds it. Even if you complain, also that is not a issue. If you have something, see why are you delaying it? I showed you the importance of assignment, and you must start doing that. Okay, that will help you. In fact, a lot. Uh, Assignments are very important for our course, isn't it? So,
Yeah,
uh,
I sent them an email. I think
or
they come back.
okay, so you then get, or on the LMS also you can. I think there is a for asking, uh, for raising your question or something, isn't it? There's a some uh, link there. You don't have no idea
Link for what?
for raising a query, any question you have or any this thing. So you can say because I don't know because I think okay, I'll show you the type of assignments which are there. So you can download also from there. I think that's the only way you will get it. No? So, okay, let me check if the assignment is available. Yeah, I think it is there. See, everything is online, so you can. Yeah, I think it is there. Yeah, I've got it. You want the link?
Yes, sir. Please, we do.
I'll put it on the
Yes.
on your. Okay, you just I'll show you also. So uh, where I am, I don't know. Oh, no, it's not. Uh, okay, let me. Yeah, in the message chat, you have got it. Have a look in the chat if you have received it or not.
Yes, got it.
So just open it. Isn't it interesting? Everything available these days. You can just Google it and you will get it. Where did I? Yeah, have you been able to get it? Lay, you got
We've
it?
got. Yes, I've got it.
Is it okay?
Thank you.
It's in a good form, isn't it?
I'm just going through it.
So good, good. So you are moving ahead. Hmm? Very nice.
I think it will be okay. We'll answer.
Hmm. I'm so happy that you have been able to get this. Okay, I can even share it on the, if you like.
Yes, on the WhatsApp, I think that would help also to share the link.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah. So now you are able to see this on the screen also. Yeah. Joel, Abdul Karim, both of you also have got this.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I've gotten it.
Okay. So, and Abdul Karim, Abba, you are there? Okay.
Yes, I have.
So let's have a 5 minutes. Yeah, good. You got it?
Yeah.
That's what I want. So I want, let's have a break of 5 minutes and we'll continue again. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so shall we start? Are you there? You all back? No? Yeah. Lay and Joy and Abdul, are you there? Can we start?
Yes, sir, we are all there.
Okay, very nice. So now I was thinking that you have got the assignment, so I hope you won't have any problem in doing it. So, so you read and see the dates for submission. You would have gone through your assignment by now, isn't it? So I hope you have understood how to do the assignment is written there. Plan it well. Read through and go through the units, and then so for each question, find out which unit it is from. Go through it, then organize it well, answer logical, understandable, coherent, clear connection between sentences and paragraphs. You are properly writing it, and the presentation is correct in your own expression and style. It is not copied from anywhere. That is most important. See, you are doing it at your own time, so there is no time limit. There is no, you can consult various books. So, in your case, uh, you have to, it is written in the assignment, you have to write it in your own hands, but you have to check up. But most probably, you can, being online courses, for that, you can submit. So, the assignment now covers all the blocks. So, first one is from the beginning, nature of disaster, distinguish between natural and man-made. Discuss, so we have covered this. Have discussed the techniques for effective community participation in disaster management. So this is in the role of community and other participation thing. So you can write little more also, like use awareness is more important. What all things they should be doing, isn't it? Then uh, other section is on floods, then cyclones, then epidemics. So, but there are specific things he's asking. So try to be within this word limit, and then give a little introduction. Then cover the what the question asks. Cover that, and then conclude it, or in the end write something what should be done about it in these. And so the last section is 100 words. That means you just give the what is asked. So but organize your writing well. So one is about drought and famine. What is the difference? This is, see, once you can write the difference between drought and famine, you'll understand this very well. Then significance of communication in disaster preparedness and mitigation. We have covered this also. So in this you cover within this. So these are short ones. Answers should be well written in coverage of covering the um aspects and well presented, because this is in your own time, so it should be neat, clean. It should be, you can say, points should be highlighted or underlined, paras, sub paras. You can use all that methods. Okay. So briefly, I have explained to you about this. Okay. Anybody wants to ask anything? So, or we can shift over to uh, some another point. Now you will be able to do the assignments well.
Yes, sir. We are going to do our best. Yeah.
These are very simple. Not this
Yeah.
only thing. Be careful and do it well. Presentation, write well. Write in
Okay,
your
sir.
own words. That's what I want to emphasize here.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we to do it based on our own research, or we should use the our study material as guide, and we can have ideas from it, or are we to do it on our own, based on our own understanding?
How do you want to do? You tell me.
No, I'm asking a question. I want to be clear about the assignment,
No,
sir.
no. So I am clarifying that. How do you want to do? What do you think? Or even Abdul or Lay, you can join in.
Okay.
Tell me what will be the best method of doing it. Is it laid down?
Okay. I think
No, tell me, is it laid down in the instructions that you have to only do it from the book? So naturally, if you add more things to it from
I
your
didn't
own
actually.
time, you will get better. It will grade. Won't that be better if you are able to relate it to something, other things also?
Okay.
Yeah, very good. That's a good thought. And you must do
Okay,
it
sir.
that way. Hmm. But don't go against it. Okay. Means it should cover the issues. Say if it is about whatever disaster it covers. So uh, if you say earthquake is due to seismic activity, then yeah, you can explain what is seismic activity from other place or instruments which are used or how it is done in your area or what you have seen or what you have seen on the net also you can see, but don't cut paste from there. Use in your own word and be brief. Try to be within the word limit. Around that little bit up and down doesn't make a difference, isn't it? But it should be impressive. All your questions, and definitely the examiner. If I am examining, I'm correcting it. I'll give you good marks. A grade should be there if you the question is done well. Okay, yeah. So there is no problem on that. So now, what I was thinking that we will cover on some natural disasters which are very important. See, have you heard of earthquake in your continent anywhere in your countries or continent? Any of you?
Yes, yes.
Which, when, where, how, which
Um,
place?
Not heard, but just experience it. It's not as bad as it sounds from that side, but like here, you feel like you see everything is shaking. The house, the things in the house, yourself, but just for a few seconds. I think the magnitude you usually like here in Malawi, it's not as bad as it is like in Asia. So usually there's not that much damage as we usually see from Asia. Yeah.
Okay. So when we were, in fact, when I brought it, although it's not. So magnitude less than 4 earthquake really don't create any much damage or any damage as such. Less than 4 on the Richter scale. Above 6.23, the damage is very high. And above 7.58, it is very severe damage. So, okay. Now, earthquake is world over one of the major because wherever the earthquake comes, these major earthquakes, huge damage takes place. So that's why it's a. But these, what are these? These are tremors in the earth due to the movement of the geological plate, uh, which is happening over millions of years. So plates are locked together, unable to release the energy which is and gets accumulated. So then the plates break free and earthquake occurs. So in a populated area, it causes lot of damage, deaths, injuries, extensive property damage. The main reason is this. It could also happen due to volcanic eruptions. Okay. So now world over, if you see in this slide, there are lot of large areas. 80% of large earthquakes occur around the edge of the Pacific. You see this map, this black line, it is called Ring of Fire on the between Australia and Asia, if you see that, and then also between the North and South America, you find these dots, black dots. So this gives an idea where these are occurring more. So now there are some characteristics about earthquake. See what is happening. We are showing here in this is that earthquake happens under the surface. So there are two terms. One is epicenter, one is focus. So anything which is the where the earthquake takes place, that place is the focus. It is under the surface of the earth, and on top on the surface is the epicenter. So one refers to an earthquake about from its epicenter. That is the place on the earth where it takes place. And how do you uh, how particular earthquake is defined? It's by its location, its magnitude, fault orientation, and direction of slip. This is the geological part. So these are tectonic process. Tectonic plates are there, huge continental size of shelves. And epicenter is the projection of the surface perpendicular to the hypocenter that reflects the intensity of an earthquake. See, if you see these diagram, there are two. You see, earthquake has taken place, so this fault develops. This is the fault on the side from the cut. If you can see that, and this is the way. Yes, the rocks down below they break or they are sliding against each other. When you say sliding, means their movement is maybe a few millimeters in 1 century or even less. It is not something really you can measure, but this is taking place over ages, over millions of years. This is the geological pattern of Earth changing constantly. So what happens, like this is showing one side drops down because of this after the, so this fault, or both the diagrams you can see it splits. So the point where it happens is the hypocenter where it breaks, but a point near it on the side, that is the epicenter, because the effect is that becomes the central point from where all the calculations are done, and the fault plane, then the epicenter is just above it, above the hypocenter. Okay. Now, now there are three types of waves. Seismic waves. Seismic is the earth moving, the waves which are causing. So PS and surface waves. So this is also given in your PNS wave together are sometimes called body waves because they can travel through the body of the earth and are not trapped near the surface. P wave is a sound wave traveling through rocks. So how do you measure the earthquake? It's on Richter scale. Now this Richter scale you must read in your um, book also. It will give you a good idea how we measure. Now another thing you know about the earthquake is the precursors, instrumental and non-instrumental. So small earthquakes cannot be measured. So there's a, there are different ways of measuring these at different places, different things. So that is very much in detail. So we'll not cover now. Now vulnerability of earthquake in the world. Again, you see the ring of fire. This picture giving you the ring of fire. In fact, again the same thing which we had covered earlier between, you can see Australia over here, Asia, and the Pacific, and there we have the ring of fire. Just to get an understanding where they are. So the destructive impact is quite a bit. So what is the nature of damage you get? You should be having this good lives, social impact, injuries, mental effect, psychological, economic effect, and environmental effect. Uh, can we prevent natural earthquakes? So earthquakes we cannot prevent from occurring, but we can significantly mitigate their effects by identifying the hazard, building safer structures, providing education on earthquake safety. So here, if you see, this covers everything we have been studying. Let's say uh, you are doing managing it, then you have to involve the communities by using all the ICT, other things to inform them, educate them on these things. Then, so you have got a good idea about earthquakes, and see, these are very important type of disaster or hazards. So another one, worldwide maximum disasters which take place or is impact is of floods. Now, why do floods take place? Yeah, you're all aware of floods. It happens, I think, all over the world, almost all places.
Yes.
So, why does it? What are the causes? Can anybody tell?
Maybe we've had too much rains for so many days, so the rivers get full and there's flooding.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, it is because of water. So, too much of water comes. So, if too much of rains are, especially in the catchment areas of the rivers will get flooded and they will bring the water. Other types of flooded are due to snow melt, again, catchment area. This is the one because the snow, many places like in India, northern India, due to Himalayas, there are a lot of snow and the rivers are originating from there. So the melting of snow increases the water and it goes down and it brings uh, floods to the area, snow melts. Storm surges, storms on the sea, they can also bring. So there are two types. We saw one is from the sea is the hurricanes or cyclonic, and others is tsunami. Both bring storm surges, storm on the water. But there's a difference in the type of storm which comes between the hurricane or cyclone and the tsunami. Then there are flash floods which come immediately. And now a lot of growing urban flooding, flooding in the urban centers, in the cities, which, as you brought out, due to heavy rains, but also due to poor drainage. The rain gets stuck, the rainwater. It doesn't flow out easily due to urbanization. So that is another thing we are careful about. We have to be. So river flooding, you all know, mostly flooding we are related to the rivers. So because the more water comes or erosion and silting is has taken place. Actually, it's a combination of all factors. Landslides, you know, the rivers waters coming through the hills, there the landslide may take place and the river water gets stopped, blocked. So an artificial dam is formed and the water starts rising, and after that and beyond the dam or where the blockade took place, after when the blockade takes place, it does not, the water starts rising till that place and the pressure of the water increases as it rises, so it breaks this dam. So once this dam is broken, it brings flash flood suddenly. So this is also a phenomena which is seen in lot of places now. in India also, in the high Himalayan area. Now, let's see the mitigation measures for floods. Actually, mitigation measures for most of them. Yeah, Le, what do you want to ask? Tell me.
Yes, yes. Before you go further, um, there are cases here like in Malawi,
Yeah.
in the city, where when there's too much raining of water, we get in the residences where people stay, flooding. It damages houses just because of maybe the drainage or the planning on its own was not well done. Not necessarily that there's a river, but because maybe we've had too much rain, so we get the flooding. What class of that is it? I mean, the kind of the floods. It's not really connected to the rivers.
Yeah, you are right. This is urban flooding. Why does it happen?
It happens maybe because there's no proper drainage to for the flow of water, maybe to go for the water to go. I think it gets blocked maybe by buildings or whatever. So it's more or less like you have flooding all
Yes,
over. Yeah. Mm.
your yeah, very good. Your observation is right. In fact, this is seen in all areas in urban areas now.
Yeah.
And not only it's happening in bigger cities more than in smaller towns. Basically, it is drainage. The water doesn't flow out soon, but it's happening in USA also. You find in the news sometimes the cities are getting flooded due to, but that may be due to they are located on the coast and due to hurricanes or cyclones or other places also. But yes, definitely this phenomena is happening. It is uh, ultimately a question of mismanagement because in India now we have come up with smart cities where everything integrated development of the cities is required or is being done. So it's not only one aspect that you are only managing flooding, you're managing everything in the city. So we have a concept of smart cities. We have having some cities which are doing very well. So basically, any disaster like flood which comes, it brings misery. Whereas what we are trying to do is improve the conditions of the people, living conditions, and these all these things. So that is important for us to understand these things, isn't it? And it is so having proper planning, drainage is part of it. It's also the sewage system get blocked when the urban floods take place. Your toilets don't work. Water supply is gone, electricity is gone, and you can't move. Um, you don't access to the market is not the markets are closed. The vegetables and food from outside is not coming to the cities because of the floods there. The prices rise there, so people do all malpractices, bad things there also. to make a quick buck. All these are there, you're right. So basically, disaster management is an integrated thing. You're looking up as because when these floods come, then there is a lot of epidemics can come, lot of diseases can also come. The schools are closed, offices you can't go, businesses affected, livelihood, daily wage workers can't go for work, so they are also going. So poor are also affected more. So once an integrated management of all the cities is done, of the city, of the area integrated, so naturally you'll have better drainage, land zoning, so that you are not using these uh, delicate areas for other purposes. I think that's a very good observation of yours. Okay, good. So now mitigation measures for each type of natural disaster. You have structural measures and non-structural. We had covered these also. Structural means where you make some structure, construct something. Non-structural are other than construction, like making good laws, regulations, practices, and management. So your reactions and actions, preparedness, all these are part of the non-structural measures. So what do you do for structural measures you take for mitigating floods? See, in the rivers and all, you make dams and reservoirs so that when more water comes, they are stored there. And flood walls are there. On the seaside, you make sea walls, some places. In fact, some countries, these are there, like any idea, sea wall, where have you seen any, or do you know where the sea wall is there? Any place? No. Uh, See, in Holland, the land coastal areas are lower than the sea, so they have made dikes. It's a very old thing over there, which has been happening over there. And in India, also some places retaining walls are there, especially in coastal areas, cities. Those the high tide waters, or when it is high, there's a small storm, it doesn't come over. Okay. Where all do floods occur? They occur everywhere. Dropping plains, and even in deserts, they occur sometimes. Mostly it doesn't rain, but suddenly it rains, or due to drainage also, the water doesn't go. So in India also, in the deserts also, it happens sometimes. This thing in Rajasthan, cities they get flooded, and I think everybody has seen a flood. The best forecast is the past, when you see historically where it has been having. So whatever type of flood you had, uh, however severe it was, there's always a possibility of even more flooding coming in future. Now, another important thing we can know about the natural disaster is a cyclone. So cyclone, we can call it, you know, in some places known as hurricanes. So these are basically system of wind that moves rapidly inward with a low pressure area in the middle. It's a, we saw the pictures also, and it's a meteorological disaster. So there's a large mass of air that surrounds a strong atmospheric center. So there are internal winds that create low pressure. So there is a polar vortex. Extratropical cyclones are the largest low pressure system. And now you want to, in fact, how cyclones are formed. So if you see that, they form near the equator and the warm ocean areas. So when warm, moist air near the ocean surface rises upward and the air rises away from the ocean surface, generates a low pressure zone beneath it. So we said the meteorological, because these uh, has to be studied, the movement of the air currents, these um, low pressure, high pressure areas that are forming, the path it is traveling, warming of the air taking place at certain places. All these are so part of the cyclone formation. Yeah. So you can ask, why do tropical cyclones occur? Where do they occur? Now this is interesting. If you see this map, that they are occurring along the equator, if you see all over the world, on the coastal areas naturally. So you find these coming in these areas mostly. So India is one of the areas where it comes from, both the eastern side and the western side. Now, this map also shows where all you can see North Pacific Ocean, these are called typhoons. On the then North Atlantic, it is hurricanes, and also in the South Pacific, cyclones coming towards Australia and India also, it is cyclones. So by the time they reach the African coast, their strength is reduced. So what is the other name of cyclone? It is hurricane or typhoon. Now they all have a nickname also. These have been given. So in the Indian Ocean, it's called cyclone and South Pacific, and in the Eastern North Pacific, typhoon. They are called. This picture is interesting. You can see that cyclone, how it is taken, how it looks from an aeroplane flying in the eye of the storm. If they go within the center of that is called a eye. And you can see from this picture that on the top it is wide. If you see the eye very carefully, it's showing a funnel narrowing downwards. Here, there's a sketch of the cyclone which shows you the eye of a full cyclone. Down below, it is narrow. When it goes up, it is sucking the water from the sea, from the warm ocean. And this on the side, it is called the eye wall. So this goes up like clouds. So is in fact, it is the clouds which are being formed. It's a huge system of meteorological system of clouds, air pressures, winds. All the cyclone is moving in a circular direction, and also horizontally also it is moving. And when it comes near the land, the speed increases. So you can see another from the top of the level. How does it looks? The clouds, they are spiraling, moving round and round. So if you see in this photograph of satellite photograph, this is the one. So it is the clouds which are swirling outwards. So what is the type of damage they do? So if you see the high winds, they create damage. Very high winds, a lot of structures get blown away. Heavy rain and flooding, it causes damage due to that also. Tornadoes are there, and storm surge from the seaside. What is a storm surge? Now, if you see this uh, this storm surge is creates the greatest threat to the lives and property damages by storm surge after a cyclone or hurricane. So it's not a tide, it's different from that. It is a huge water which may be 50 to 100 miles wide. Tide is small thing, it goes up and down. Here it is a high water, wall of water, which is 50, 100 miles wide wall. That comes in towards the land. And it could be up to 15 feet deep when it comes on the land. So at the coast area, it shows like that it hits, then it comes over, and it can go inside. So what happens that the area is primarily related to the intensity of the hurricane and slope of the continental shelf. It depends on that on the side. So these surges which come, they can, contaminate. Of course, they destroy a lot with the force they are coming. First is the wind which comes that destroys, and the other thing, then this storm surge cause lot of destruction when it comes. Just imagine a wall of water 50, 100 miles wide, thick, which is about 15 feet high, is coming. So and it goes in, it can go in up till 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers. Of course, the more it goes in, the destruction is less. More at the coastal area, up till 4 5 kilometers, destruction is quite a bit. So that's another aspect of these storm surges. So, what are the factors which make these surges? You know, uh, so these are developed because of warm ocean. So that is where they get the energy from the ocean. This heat energy, which humid atmosphere is needed to get high humidity to get clouds to develop, and weak wind shear. If wind is stronger at upper levels than lower levels, storm top separates from the lower part. That is, we saw it was like a mushroom coming up and up. It was, so if there is different wind speeds at higher and lower levels, so it can break. So that's another thing. Now, cyclone monitoring is being done all over. Actually, monitoring is done by weather watch stations all over, and modeling storm um, surge modeling is done to predict these. Then conservation, regeneration of mangrove forest and coastal shelter belt for plantation is also done. So if you see in India how they are predicting and tracking storms, so there's a 24-hour forecast landfall position error and 24-hour forecast fall time error. Okay, 2 hour delay, and so these are being tracked like this, where it originated, it builds up other things, and then it carries. This is the which is being followed. So you predict the track, and then they deviate also. And in the Bay of Bengal, this is being created. So these are the type of, during super cyclone, this storm was being followed and detected in 1999. So another thing we can also, which is very important and covers a lot, is droughts and famines, isn't it? You all are aware of it. So our unit we have been able to study. So, but here, if you understand, drought is a situation created generally insufficient levels of rain, resulting in water shortage that affect the economic and physical well-being. Drought or scarcity of water to satisfy the normal needs of agriculture, livestock, or human population is generally associated with semi-arid or desert climates. Drought can also occur in areas that normally enjoy adequate rainfall and moisture levels. Even with adequate rainfall generally, there also sometimes droughts can occur. So technically, a drought is defined as drier than normal conditions. So drought can occur. They can occur in high altitude, snowbound areas also, glacier areas also. There, because there is no moisture, it's all frozen. The water is frozen. So drought is a moisture deficit relative to the average water available at a given location and season. Drought can limit the growing season and create conditions that encourage insect and disease infestation in certain crops. So pests, insects, all these can come, or even crops can be affected by um, these type of things, or other diseases also. And the growing season is limited by the drought. So low crop yield can result in rising food prices and shortages and potentially leading to malnutrition. Drought can also affect the health of livestock. A drought can last for days, months, or years. So types of droughts, the meteorological drought, socio-economic drought, hydrological drought due to low water, agricultural drought when crops become affected, socio-economic drought when supply and demand of various commodities, things, food items and other is affected. Ecological drought when natural ecosystems are affected by drought. So these are the ecological droughts also. So predictability of droughts is linked to the in India it is linked to the monsoons. And then by monsoon, but monsoon by inherent nature is highly variable. And so rainfall is not predictable nor not even evenly distributed. So for good agriculture, you require well distributed and evenly spaced spells of monsoon rain. The rain has to be well distributed and evenly spaced in time and space. Too much of rain comes suddenly, the average rain would be good, but otherwise it is not of much use. So, in a big country like India, monsoons are always there. It may be delayed in some place or the other. So, seasonal forecast helps in the predictability of droughts. So, what are the mitigation strategies or actions that can lessen the drought impact? So, what you can do to mitigate against drought? Check dams to store water, small dams, so that the water does not run off. Watershed management and water rationing, these are also area management techniques. Cattle management, proper selection of crop for drought affected areas. Leveling, soil conservation techniques, soil conservation of the fields. Reducing deforestation and firewood cutting in the affected area, and education and training of the people. So, so in India, there is a national drought monitoring system also. A lot of these. Okay. So I think we will stop here on my part. Okay. And I think we can have this last 2-3 minutes left to answer to your any questions. Yeah. Can you all switch on your cameras now for the final time? Joy, Lay, Bashir, before we close off. Yeah, Lay, very good. And now this is our last meeting. So I want to wish you all the very best. Okay, Joy, you also. And we are. So what is your final? What do you want to say? Anything? Yeah. Let's start with you, Bashir. Okay, Joy, you come, please. Yes. Yeah. So now we have the last 2-3 minutes left for our interaction of these last 5 sessions. So, what are your thoughts? What do you want to say? What do you want to look ahead from it? What you have gained? Yeah, can I have some from you? Yeah, Joy, please. You liked it?
Okay. Um, so far so good. I've really enjoyed this short period of time spent at the study of this course. So I must say I've learned a lot, a whole lot more about disaster, though I didn't really know much about disaster to this extent, but I think involving in this cancer session has helped me broaden my knowledge on some other kinds of disaster that I'm not aware of. So I must say I'm grateful, and it's been a very great privilege to be here.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Who else? Bashir. Yeah. Come, come. Yeah. Whoever wants to say. Bashir, you want to say? Okay, please. Yeah.
Uh,
Which one?
Thank you for these wonderful lectures. We really enjoyed it, though I was not able to attend most of it. But with the few ones I was able to attend, I really enjoyed it. I understood what you were saying, and we look forward to see more of this series.
Okay.
Thank you.
So anything which we can improve here, Bashir?
Well, the major challenge we actually have is the timing. Like
How? How?
yesterday,
How do we improve the time? What time you want?
I mm, I communicated in the group yesterday saying the time that is convenient for me mostly is from Friday to Sunday. That's the days I am much free at times. But from
Okay.
Monday to Thursday, I'm a bit busy. But anything Friday, Saturday, Sunday, anytime that is fixed, I'm okay with it.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, Lay.
Okay.
Th-
Yeah, thank you. It's really been great being part of this lecture. It's been very clear and straightforward. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the company, and it's an eye opener. I've understood and learned so many things. Yeah, I'm just surprised that it's the last lesson with you, okay, that we are already done. So yeah, thanks. It's been really good.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, all of you. In fact, it has been a very great time for me also and for us to be. I have learned a lot from you all. First time interacting with you, no doubt, but otherwise also. There have been a lot of you know difficulties which come in between, but we try to come overcome these by some method or the other. One is the time problem. See, when you are uh, looking at a global world, you know, now we never earlier thought that we can work together same time and different countries globally, but we are doing it. So that itself is a very big achievement. So, but then we do have the time problem. I have a lot of people. My son is working here for USA. So he works, his time schedule is throughout the night when we are sleeping. And when we get up, he goes off to sleep at that time. But he's working for USA, America. So he got used to it. So we have to get used to this. This is, I think, and we could not have thought that we could be doing this course maybe 2 years earlier. Before the pandemic, we couldn't have thought. Then we would have said, okay, you come over, or IGNO will open a study center there. Then they will not have the teachers there, isn't it? So, so much of you were not having these systems or used to it. Now we are all got used to these. Yes, I am doing now a lot of these on the this Google Meet or other uh, software. So okay, that's a good thing. Okay. Now, what I think you should, I will say again, is you must read the book. You to do well in exam, because when you join a course, it's a very formal thing. You want a good certificate, isn't it? Your educational certificate should be naturally good. And that is the aim, and you can easily get it by a little bit of giving more effort on that. Do your assignments well. In our courses in IGNU, this is a very good thing. That 30% of the marks, see, out of 30, you can get 29, 30, 28. So you left with very little. So you get good marks about even 40 or something out of 70, you are into top grades. And those who just want to pass, even doing nothing, they will pass if they get good here. But that's not the aim. It's a very simple. Then second thing is that I am happy that you have got initiated into this important topic of disaster management. You know, your understanding it is applicable all over, even in business world. Continuity management, crisis management, everything downturn keeps taking place. So how to manage those? So this is basically disasters which take place, how to manage. There could be cyber disasters. You know, in fact, world over, maximum work is being done on cyber, means disasters by these software people and hardware people. Those are working in those fields. They are doing a lot of work. If you do international internet search on disasters, you will get mostly results related to crisis management, disaster, all is these people. You know, this systems falling apart or security leaks, thing like that. But so the management has come from then. The more people in a country, in a community, they get aware to this, you have better and better awareness, development of your disaster management, developmental process itself. See, we are all into developmental process. Education itself is there, but whether you are in medical field, any other field, agriculture, they are all affected by it, and they good better practices will make it. And then subsequently you can join the postgraduate diploma in disaster management. Also, disaster management courses, papers, you know, are in other courses like Masters of Public Administration. There's one full paper on disaster management. Then in our bachelor undergraduate program also there's an elective course. So things like that, it is there are there. And there is a lot of opportunity once you are aware of these, into for job opportunities worldwide into various agencies. So I wish you all the best. Do well for this course. Do well in life. Stay healthy. Stay happy. Bye bye. Thank you very much. Okay, we can close now.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you very much sir, for your mentoring.
Thank you, sir, for the time and everything. And we are actually going to miss you.
Yeah. Whenever you come to Delhi, India,
Yeah. Yeah.
you must remember me. I'll come. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye. Chotu.